Is there something that was said on camera that made you feel that way?
Was it? Not on camera, not with the show, no. More so in interviews, like interviews.
My interview?
I can't remember if it was your interview, but it was other interviews.
Stormi Steele has always come off as the strong, no-nonsense boss chick, building her canvas beauty brand from the ground up, standing tall on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and always keeping her composure through all the shade and rumors. But lately, something has shifted. Just when fans thought the drama was cooling down, Stormi Steele dropped an emotional bombshell that has everyone reeling. In a raw and unexpected moment, Stormi opened up like never before, revealing some behind-the-scenes truths that even longtime fans didn't see coming. She confessed that the success everyone sees on the outside doesn't reflect the silent battles she's been fighting inside. She didn't hold back, admitting that fame and reality TV took a serious toll on her mental health. She talked about how she felt used by people she once trusted, and how the image people painted of her was far from the truth. For the first time, viewers saw Stormi break down, not as a businesswoman or a reality star, but as a real person just trying to protect her peace. Stormi also hinted at how the show twisted her narrative, making her look like the villain while others played the victim. She revealed how producers pushed certain storylines and how she struggled with keeping it real versus playing the game. This wasn't just a vent session, it was a cry for clarity. She even got emotional talking about how her family, especially her husband Courtney, kept her grounded when everything else felt fake. That moment hit hard for fans because it showed just how deep the emotional weight really was. This confession wasn't about drama, it was about truth. About finally giving fans the full picture and letting them see what really goes on behind the cameras.
Know that because we had talked about that before, and it wasn't said like that, so I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'm lost.
The moment that sent shockwaves through the Love and Marriage, Huntsville fan base came straight from Carlos King himself. Carlos revealed that he and Stormi Steele were parting ways professionally, and the language he used wasn't your usual business goodbye. He said the decision came with a heavy heart and cited irreconcilable differences. It felt like something broke, down behind the scenes that couldn't be repaired. He didn't give exact details, but the tone of the message hinted at a falling out that may have had layers. Fans instantly picked up on the energy. Carlos said it was time for both sides to move on, and while he wished Stormi the best, there was an undertone of disappointment in his words. It read like someone who felt blindsided, or maybe even betrayed. What followed next was a complete storm in the comments section. A person commented saying, "This ain't sitting right with me. Stormi brought realness and class to the show. She deserved better." Another one added, "Carlos King always says it's about storytelling, but why does that always come at the expense of Black women who speak up?" A lot of fans couldn't understand how things soured so quickly. But if Carlos thought Stormi would stay silent, he clearly underestimated her. At first, Stormi didn't say much. She let the headlines run and the fans speculate, but then came the post, "Don't let anyone else write your story." Shortly after, Stormi broke her silence in a video message. Stormi appeared emotional. She said, "I stayed quiet for too long, and it was clear this was more than just about TV." She spoke about feeling misrepresented, misunderstood, and even manipulated. She admitted that while she had tried to stay professional through it all, there came a point where silence started to feel like surrender. Stormi explained that she had given everything to the show, opened up her life, shared her family, and still found herself being cast in a light that didn't feel authentic. She didn't call out Carlos by name, but it was obvious who she was referring to when she said, "I thought this was a partnership built on trust, but I learned that not everyone you build with is building with you." What hit home for a lot of viewers was her raw honesty. She admitted she wasn't perfect, but said she always tried to stay true to herself. She also made it clear that she wasn't stepping away from the spotlight. She was just taking control of her own story now. She said at the end of her video, "This story isn't over, it's just getting started." That one line sparked a wave of support. The energy completely shifted. Where there was confusion before, now there was a sense of unity. People respected the fact that she didn't throw anyone under the bus, but still stood firm in her truth. And just like that, Stormi had flipped the script. From silent to empowered, from cast member to storyteller.
Got into like filming, I was like, I do enjoy the experience. I wouldn't have thought would have.
Stormi had kept it classy for weeks, only sharing messages and emotional videos. But when she finally sat down for a long-form interview, fans got the raw, unfiltered version of what really went down. She wasn't yelling or bitter, but you could feel the weight of everything she had been holding in. Fighting back tears, Stormi admitted that her exit from Love and Marriage, Huntsville, wasn't as mutual as Carlos made it seem. In her words, she was pushed out. She said the tension started with creative control. According to her, scenes were being edited in ways that didn't reflect what actually happened. She claimed producers chopped up conversations and exaggerated conflicts just to create drama, even when she specifically asked for more balance in how her story was told. She said, "I felt like a puppet. They were controlling the narrative and making me look like someone I wasn't." But it wasn't just about the edits. Stormi shared that there were verbal promises made early on, things like more say in how her family was portrayed or having a voice in production meetings, that were never honored. She explained how she brought her real life, her husband, her business, and her home on national TV because she believed she was stepping into a genuine opportunity. But slowly, those promises started slipping. She said, "Carlos told me this was going to be a partnership, but somewhere along the way, I became just another plot point." What really shook fans was her claim that decisions were being made behind her back. She talked about feeling isolated from key conversations and realizing other cast members were being looped in on changes before she even knew what was happening. She hinted that some backdoor deals were being made to shift the direction of the show without her consent, or even her knowledge. It was like watching your own house get remodeled and not even being invited to the meeting, she said. One of the most powerful things she said during the interview was, "He made me feel disposable, like I was just a storyline, not a person." That moment hit fans hard. The comment sections blew up with people expressing sympathy, anger, and confusion. It was clear this wasn't just a job loss. It felt like a betrayal on multiple levels. But behind the scenes, it wasn't just about cameras. It was about contracts, cash, and control.
I want us to have a problem. And I stated clearly, like, I don't want that. Because that's not a thing for me. Like, I don't have that type of energy. I don't do those type of things in life. Like, my focus is literally on, like, everything that God put in my spirit to pursue. You know, I don't focus or like try to do the extra stuff because I've never had to.
While the emotional side was devastating, the real shakeup happened in the business room. According to insiders close to Stormi, things started going downhill when she tried to renegotiate her contract ahead of the new season. With her rising popularity, a booming business, and a loyal fan base, Stormi felt it was time to level up. She requested fair pay, especially compared to other cast members who had less on-screen time but were rumored to be earning more. But Stormi wasn't just asking for money. She also wanted content control, a chance to approve major parts of how her storyline would be portrayed. Most importantly, she allegedly pushed for a producer credit, arguing that she brought fresh energy and real business value to the show and should have a seat at the decision-making table. Carlos wasn't having it. Insiders say that her demands were seen as too bold, especially for someone who hadn't been with the franchise since the beginning. And that's when the tension really exploded. Some close to the situation claimed that Stormi had even asked about ownership rights, wanting a stake in the episodes that featured her likeness and her business. For Carlos, that might have been the line she crossed. From his side, it may have felt like she was trying to take too much control too fast. From hers, it was about respect and value. She believed she earned a place at the table. But instead of negotiations, she got silence. Meetings stopped, messages slowed down, and not long after, the announcement came that they had mutually agreed to part ways. But based on everything Stormi revealed, it sounds like the decision wasn't mutual at all. It was about power. Who had it? Who wanted it? And who was willing to walk away when it wasn't shared?
I feel like $800, I had no plan and I figured it out. And every part of my journey, I just figure it out. Like, I say, you know, God, whatever you want me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I cannot know what the landscape is gonna look like. I cannot have what I feel like I need. I can be literally running on E and I'll still go forward because, like, in my spirit, If I'm in flow, whatever's supposed to come to me will come.
For a while, Stormi and Carlos weren't just working together. They were building something that looked like a solid bond. Stormi had spoken in the past about how grateful she was to be brought onto the platform, and Carlos had praised her presence on the show. They were seen laughing at events, supporting each other publicly, and even sharing private moments behind the scenes that hinted at real friendship. But when Carlos dropped his statement about ending the professional relationship, everything changed. According to her, she found out about the public announcement at the same time fans did. Fans also started whispering about what might have happened privately. Rumors swirled about behind-the-scenes disagreements that had nothing to do with cameras or contracts. Some claimed there were power plays happening inside the team where certain people didn't want Stormi's influence to grow. Whether those rumors were true or not, the fact that Carlos made such a big decision without talking to Stormi first made the breakup feel cold and calculated. It was more than a show ending. It was the end of a relationship built on trust. As soon as Stormi's video dropped, fans connected the dots. Some fans were heartbroken, calling it another case of a Black woman being pushed out after speaking up for herself. Others praised Stormi for not letting the narrative be twisted. But not everyone was on her side. Critics came forward too, saying Stormi was playing the victim or chasing clout. Some questioned the timing of her video, while others accused her of using drama to stay relevant. But this drama is bigger than just two people. It might change reality TV forever. Whose side are you on? Carlos or Stormi? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe to get the real tea every time.